The Podcasting Dead is available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Make sure to subscribe for more podcasts. And while you're at it, drop us a like. If you want to help support the channel and have access to extra content, secret contest, and more, make sure to search for us on Patreon. Patreon.com/thepodcastingdead.
All right, time to do a little mail calling.
Yeah, gonna call some mail.
And if you're thinking that we did this late, no, we announced, I think, maybe Monday on the Walking Dead podcast that we're going to start doing mail calls on Friday. I think it's just easier to wrap up the week doing it that way. And if something happens, we can always change it back. But, you know, right. But anyways, I'm Justin. I'm JP. And if you're watching this or listening to this, you probably already knew that. But just for those that maybe found it floating around the internet, hi. Hello. In the meantime, yeah, let's get to some questions. I've got mine pulled up here. JP, if you want to, you are more than welcome to go ahead and start it out.
Yeah, man. I'm looking around. I think Brianne is first up. Corey Andros mentioned something about The Walking Dead this past week. Not a question, but how strict were your parents growing up? That's one from Brianne.
Mine were pretty strict. Were pretty strict. Like, I couldn't use the internet until like I was almost ready to move out without them typing in the password because they were, I guess, worried that I would do something stupid or some middle-aged man would lure me away with pictures of some girl's boobs and make me his bitch. You know, I don't know, but yeah, mine were pretty strict. And as far as I had a lot of rules. I had to chop wood every day. Right. I had to, mine were. I would say on the strict scale, out of a scale of 1 to 10, mine were probably about a 7 to an 8.
Yeah, man, I was pretty much raised by my mom, and I mean, she was, but at the same time, she trusted me with a lot of freedom as far as like what I watched and where I went and stuff. So, I don't know, man. And she's, my mom's a little bipolar, so some things she would fly off the handle about, and other things would just kind of, slide for whatever. So, I don't know, man. I had a kind of a sliding scale as far as that went.
I feel like your mom, just looking from the outside in, your child, your growing up was probably one of those things where you had the freedom to do some stuff, and you did, but at the end of the day, you knew if you messed up too bad, Mama was going to whoop that ass. Yeah. Like, you knew if you were going to do something that was going to upset her, it had to be top secret because she trusted you and she wasn't super strict. But if the time came, she'd tear that ass up.
Right. And I didn't really get in any shenanigans until like it was time to go off to college anyway. So
you didn't really come out of your shell until like after high school, right?
Right. So, yeah. But yeah, Brianne, it was a pretty good childhood.
Yeah. If you go time travel, where would you want to go? Specifically 40s, 50s, 80s, what? Would you rather jump ahead but stay the age you are now currently? I feel like we've answered this one for somebody else before. Of course, we had said, kind of outside the box thinking. We would go back to the beginning of time just to see how everything started. But I mean, if we're talking
the dawn of civilization or something, yeah.
But if we're talking more practical, like somewhere in the 1900s, just kind of just observe past generations. I don't know, man. I'd kind of really like to see I don't know. I'm kind of mixed. I'm interested to hear what you're going to say. I would say I'd love to see the 40s. But I also kind of like to go back to the 80s. That's when my parents were really growing up and doing their thing. That was like their teenage wild years was the 80s. So I would love to just kind of see, compare and contrast. I don't know.
Yeah, man, I would go to the 60s, man. There was a lot. I mean, the times really were changing. Yeah. And not to mention all the free love and drugs and all that stuff. So, yeah, I would pick the 60s and just like a great time for music, too.
It really, it was kind of the dawn of what we come to love for rock and roll. I mean, some might argue you can go back to like Chuck Berry, but I mean, as far as you had so many good bands, you had like the Stones, the Beatles, it was just this great time to be alive. I don't know. That's really tough. I mean, part of me would love to go back to like the 1910s and 20s just to see, I love being out in the woods and stuff. So just to see what these like frontiersmen. Yeah,
it would be cool to like
farmers,
like not age a day, kind of like Doctor Who, but just like go back to the turn of the century and just live the whole century, but not age at all until you get back to where you started, Yeah. That'd be pretty wild.
Yeah, good question.
Yep. Brianne also asked, do you feel like a leader or a follower? I don't think I'm really either. I mean, I've been in management roles, so I've had to be something of a leader, but I'm just more kind of like a rogue.
You kind of go with the flow. I'd say more of a follower, but not in the sense that somebody can like tell you what to do easy, but I just feel like if you're in a situation and somebody jumps up to take control and you kind of just agree with what they're saying, you're just kind of like, yeah, whatever.
Well, I mean, I can respect a chain of command, but
yeah, you do good with that.
But no, I'm such a loner. I just would really prefer to just kind of stray away from the group and do things on my own terms.
I mean, I hate to sound like an asshole here, but I'm going to go with leader for me, just because I've just always been more of a take charge kind of guy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have a boss, and when he says, jump, I say how high. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's because he pays my paychecks. I mean, I got to feed my daughter with that, but. In lots of situations, I'm just kind of the one to just be like, here's what I'm doing. We go hiking. Hey, I'm going hiking. If people drop out, okay, well, I'm going hiking. And if you want to go, you can, yeah, and don't get me wrong. I mean, there have been plenty of times in life where I've taken a back seat if we were doing something and someone had a better idea or whatever. But I mean, I definitely always jump to, I don't know. I think I can't. And I also, too, I can't just not say something if I don't know, if I don't agree. So I don't know. I like JP. I can be both. I think more a leader just in the sense of I might only be leading myself. Yeah. But, at the same time, I don't mind taking a back seat if somebody has a better approach to something.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie. I really don't even like being the guy in charge because it's such a pain in the ass, having to worry about what everyone else is doing. I would rather just kind of do my own thing. Yeah,
I mean, sometimes then I'll avoid if there's a confrontation that I would like to have, but then I'm like, is it really? You have to weigh your options. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody wants to be like, oh, I don't take notes. Sometimes you got to be like, all right,
you got to pick your battles.
This guy is getting on my nerves doing this, but if I approach him about it, as a manager, this is going to piss him off, and it's going to lead. Is what he's doing really worth the confrontation?
Yeah.
And you just, if it is, I don't have any problem doing it. But I've learned as I've gotten older the wise old saying of pick your battles.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting question there.
Yeah.
Which would be harder to live with? Sorry, I can't read. My right contact scratched my eye, and I took it out last night, so now it's kind of. Which would be harder to be without forever? Coffee or alcohol? Probably coffee for me. I mean, I want to be like, I do love my whiskey and my alcohols, but at the end of the day, I don't drink it every day. I drink coffee every morning. So that would probably be a bigger system shock for me.
Right. I actually had coffee for the first time this morning in like months. So yeah, I could go without coffee. I really don't even like it.
Yours would probably be alcohol.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just not in the sense that you're an alcoholic, because you don't really drink any more than anyone else, I guess. But it's just between the two. You're taking away the one that you actually like.
Yeah, man. Yeah, not a coffee guy here. So,
but I don't know. I do love my booze. So
yeah, it would be tough, man. It'd be tough. Brianne also asks, "What would you rather burp every time you lean in for a kiss, or drool every time you talk?"
I mean,
that's.
I'm gonna go with drool every time I talk, just because I guess kissing wouldn't be drooling, so at least somebody could get. I don't know if I would get a chance to kiss anybody though if I drooled all the time.
Yeah, you're pretty much screwed either way. I'd rather burp every time I lean in for a kiss because I've gotten pretty good at holding them in, and I could maybe redirect or something.
And I think I could go with that, especially if it's not like uncontrollable burping. Like the whole time you're leaning in, you're going to be burping until you lean back out of it. It's like every time you lean in for a kiss, you have one burp. Then you could probably.
Yeah.
Just eat a lot of mint so when you burp, it tastes like peppermint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for your significant other, whoever you're kissing, if you eat a lot of mints all the time, then when you lean in for a kiss and you burp, at least it'll be more minty than, stomach acidy. Let's see. Would you rather sleep with handcuffs on or wear a bike helmet? Like to wear the bike helmet to sleep, I assume?
Yeah, I think I'd go with the handcuffs. I don't want a bike helmet on my head.
I don't know. I thought I would go with handcuffs, but then again, what if do I have it's so many other questions to stem off this. Do I have the key to it? Can I get them off easily? If so, then definitely handcuffs. But if we're talking like, somebody has to unlock them every morning, I think I'd go with the bike helmet, because if something happened, at least you still have the freedom and mobility of your hands and your head's protected. Like say an earthquake's going on, which we don't really have many of those here, but or your house is on fire. I mean, at least now you have freedom to use your hands and your head's protected from falling debris.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the helmet.
Yeah.
All right.
Would you rather be uncontrollably laughing for the rest of your life or uncontrollably laughing? Did I read that right? Would you rather be uncontrollably laughing for the rest of your life or uncontrollably laughing?
Would you rather be?
That might be a typo, Brianne, but I wouldn't want to be uncontrollably laughing.
No. Then you just be kind of like the Joker.
Yeah. So
you can read the next one since that really wasn't.
Yeah. What song do you have to sing along with every time you hear it? Ever done karaoke? I do karaoke if I'm super duper drunk, and it
Likewise.
Never turns out well.
Likewise. It's the only time. If you see me up for that karaoke machine, just make sure you come and say bye to me after I get done, because before long someone's going to haul me out or I'm going to pass out.
Yeah. So. But if I ever put a Tenacious D's Wonder Boy on, I usually end up singing along with that, which I don't listen to that a lot, but that has been the case.
There's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that if I hear, I'm going to sing along to. I mean, like if I hear "Cocaine Blues" by Johnny Cash,
that's a good one. Shot that bad bitch down.
Shot that bad. I thought I was a daddy, but she had 5 more. I don't know. There's a lot. I mean, I know that's too broad of an answer. I mean, really, there are tons of songs that I can't hear without singing along to. Anything Breaking Benjamin too. I mean, if I hear Breaking Benjamin, I'm gonna sing along to it.
Yeah, a good Dean Martin tune. I'll find myself singing along with that.
And this one is from Eternal Wreck, because apparently, JP's the only one on this podcast that enjoys sex with hot women. I don't get it. But for you, JP, who would you rather take into the Barn of Pleasures, Emma Watson or Emma Roberts?
I'm having trouble picturing either one.
Emma Watson is Hermione from Harry Potter.
Okay.
Emma Roberts, I believe, she's the girl from American Horror Story, the skinny blonde. Remember, she's the one that got sawed in half that time?
I'm still not picturing Emma Roberts.
She's been in a lot of other stuff. She was, Google her real quick. I'd give my opinion, but, I think I know who you're going to go with, but.
Emma Roberts. Give me a picture. I'd go with the Hermione.
Right.
Once she came of age, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, that'd be a wild time in the Barn of Pleasures. Eternal Wreck also saying, would y'all ever want to go and check out the filming locations for The Walking Dead in Georgia? Of course we would.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, no doubt.
Also from Eternal Wreck, let's see, that is not a question. Who do you think will be casted to play Mercer on The Walking Dead? I mean, if we could go back in time, Mr. T would be perfect.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I pity the princess. Yeah. I'm about to tear that ass up.
Oh, man. Yeah, Mr. T would be the ideal. Man, and he's still in pretty good shape. He might could pull it off.
I mean, if they could maybe make him look a little younger, yeah. I mean, I definitely think Mercer has that Mr. T vibe to him, maybe without all the chains. But
yeah, because Scorsese de-aged Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in that new movie he did.
It'd be weird to see they did what?
Like he de-aged Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in that new movie, The Irishman.
Oh yeah,
and I think it was Mark Ruffalo called him out because Martin Scorsese's been shitting on the MCU, and he was just like, with all the CGI used for that movie, man, you ain't got no room to talk.
Yeah,
just because they're not turning into big green monsters, don't mean you're not using the same smoke and mirrors. So.
True that. Yeah, I was a little disappointed.
Good for you,
in Martin
Mark Ruffalo.
Scorsese. Yeah, it's one of the rare times in life I'll say, "Good for you, Mark Ruffalo."
Yeah, for real.
But who would be really cool to play him if he wasn't? I mean, but we don't need the goofy version of him. But I really like Terry.
Terry Crews?
Terry Crews.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I really like Terry Crews a
Yeah.
lot. I think he's just awesome. He's actually, I don't think to say him a lot of the times. When we get asked, what celebrities would we like to interview or meet, he's one of my top, 10 at least. I think he's just seems like an awesome guy. But I would love to see him, but it'd be interesting to see him with a mohawk, because you got to have the mohawk. Yeah. But I don't want him to be silly. Mercer was a pretty straightforward guy in the comics, and whoever plays him needs to take that approach. My only worry with Terry Crews is that they would put him in the role, and then because he's so funny and charming, they'd be like, let's goofy it up a little bit. No, I love his humor. I love him, but you know what? I need a serious Terry Crews.
Man, a similar thought with what's his name, Craig Robinson from The Office. Like you said, I mean, he's a very comedic actor, but if he could really bone up on some serious,
if they could get him to work out. I mean, Mercer wasn't ridiculously jacked, but he definitely looked more in shape than Craig.
Yeah.
If they were to shave his head to a mohawk and slim him down a little bit, I don't want to say slim down because he did slim down, but shape him up a little bit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Craig Robinson would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I'd be excited to see him on the way to The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to throw one in there real quick. Who's going to play Princess?
Oh, man. That's one
question. That wasn't asked, but you can't really talk about Mercer being brought in without princess, I mean, right in the same era. So
it's been so long since I've read that arc.
She's kind of, she's got a couple of different nationalities. So, I mean, you're definitely looking for, a more, definitely not just your typical white girl. I mean, she's got, I think, like Hispanic and African in her. And
something
she's
like
kind
that,
of like a melting pot of races. So, I mean, you really, so like, who could you see playing that?
I don't know, man. That's one to stew on for sure. I want to look up rumors now as far as like who they think might play her.
You know who I could see playing her is the girl from. I never watched it just because I never knew when it came on. I always saw previews on Comedy Central, but it was that show with those two girls.
Oh, dude, she has been cast.
Has she?
Yeah, according to I think this is pretty reliable at skybound.com.
Oh boy, you're getting a podcasting dead exclusive.
It's a name I can't say. Paola Lazaro.
They just show a picture of her.
Yeah,
Does she
it
look
does.
like she could play princess?
She looks very beautiful.
Check Mercer. See if he's been cast.
Let's see. Yeah.
Wow. So we might be seeing princess here in the next.
Yeah, I wish they'd give me like the whole picture. It's like a split screen kind of deal.
That'd be interesting. But yeah, so we're gonna see if Mercer has been cast. What if it said Terry Crews?
Yeah.
Or Craig Robinson?
Matthew
Nothing there.
Let's see. TWD. So there's some fan art with The Rock as Mercer, but I don't think he's actually been cast.
No, man, I don't. I like The Rock. I mean, he seems like a good guy, and some of his movies are fun. But I feel like don't bring The Rock into it.
But yeah, check it out. Pretty tasty little dish playing the princess.
Really cool.
Yeah.
And then Eternal Rex said, Justin, that's a very good point. I can't even remember seeing Grace. Yeah, somebody pointed out that if you go back to the episode where Lydia's trying to read, that's Gracie that's like helping her read. But aside from that, we really hadn't seen her with Aaron much at all. But anyways, all right, and we're back to Brienne, JP.
If you could choose, ideally, how long would foreplay last in your bedroom of pleasures? Going dirty on this one.
I see. I mean,
it all depends, man. It depends
right? Yeah, it's
on many. Like, there's sometimes, man, I can mess around for like an hour, and other times, man, I just want to get right to it.
Likewise, sometimes you really want that foreplay, and sometimes you just kind of want to get to the meat and bones.
Yeah, so that's very subjective.
It depends on the circumstances. I mean, ideally, I can't say I'm the kind of person where I'm like, oh, I like an hour of foreplay every time. No, sometimes get off. Let's just do this thing.
Now, if I'm really drunk, I can be very orally fixated. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think a lot of people think they do, but I've always said, man, like back in the days when I was single, if I was having somebody come over, I'd always have me a couple double deuces before, they came over to whatever, because it was like my secret, my Space Jam, like my secret stuff or my whatever it was that Bugs Bunny gave them. Oh, man, I was just like, time to tear that ass up.
Yeah,
and then, I mean, I'm sure it was nothing like that. But in my mind, the alcohol made me feel like it was. Oh, man. If we had a real-life purge, would you participate or would you hide?
I don't think I'd get in on that, man.
Well, I mean, I would hide because participating means going out and murdering people. Right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I would participate by killing anyone that tried to get into my where I was hiding. But no, I wouldn't go out and just kill innocent people or whatever. Now, if we're talking about somehow being able to join a squad and go take out these psycho killers, now, I probably would take part of that. That'd be fun. I'd probably die, but, I'd die feeling like I was trying to save people.
Yeah. Okay, let's, was the next one mine, I think?
Yeah.
Either way. Would you consider yourself a caregiver in the home, or would you rather ship your significant other to a nursing home for caregiving? FYI, my ass is never, ever going into a nursing home. I'd rather die a slow death, which is pretty much what you do in a nursing home is die a slow death. But, man, I mean, I would hang in there as long as I could. If it's like 24-hour kind of care, I don't know if I could handle it. I would hope I'd be like in a financial place to where I could maybe hire a nurse to come in and help.
There's no need for me to answer. That's exactly what I was going to say, that I would like to keep them at home, but have the money to hire someone to come to the house and help me with it.
or if they have to go to a nursing home, again, be financially set to put them in a real swanky one. But, man, I mean, there's studies like caring for someone like that, dude. I mean, it ages and it's detrimental to your health. I mean, you're going down with them in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
so.
no, I'd want to keep them at the house. I would love to be wealthy enough to kind of have their own part of the house I could give them and have basically 24/7 staff of like home nurses who could help. And I mean, of course, go over there and help them, but it just would be nice to have someone to help you with that. That way, they're being cared for and they're at home and comfortable, but you also don't have to throw away your entire life. Because like you said, it does. I mean, we have kids, we have things going on. And a lot of times when you have to be the primary caregiver, you have to put a lot of other important things on the back burner.
Yeah,
so
man.
if I didn't have the money, then I guess I'd still probably keep them at home.
And it's one of those things, man. That is where I kind of advocate for like assisted suicide. Just when the quality of life is gone, especially if they're mentally not there anymore. I mean, you're just prolonging someone, with no quality of life. But
yep,
what are you gonna do?
Yep. Let's see. What is your biggest pet peeve about your coworkers? Don't be too harsh now.
Oh, well, that damn Julius, man. He's always like sniffing my earlobes.
Yeah,
and
it's kissing your neck.
That's
an HR
doing a lot
issue,
of weird
too.
Stuff,
I've had
doing a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, I've had some HR sit-downs with him, and it doesn't seem to be slowing him down.
He's been on the podcast, and he,
Oh, God, here he comes.
Oh, Jesus.
You're not supposed to tell everything, JP.
Oh, geez. You see,
things are secret.
You see what I have to deal with?
Oh, I do. I have to write it up all the time.
Yeah.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I'm the manager here. I need to know when you're kissing on. I mean, you acting like I don't know. We've had sit downs with this. We've had HR meetings.
But I thought we worked this out between ourselves, JP.
While you're in the place of business that I'm in charge of, it doesn't matter how you've worked it out. It ultimately has to come through me. So,
well,
I mean, you saw him trying to stick that mic up my ass a few podcasts ago.
During the podcast.
Yeah.
During the podcast.
So,
he needed it.
Well, look, I'm always down for
wanted
for some stimulation. I'm always down for, but the mic was not designed for that.
No,
Well, it was meant to pick up your inside.
I'm not so worried about your asshole as I am the mic. I mean, I have to let guests use that mic when they come in.
That was yours, so.
Oh, it was mine?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I definitely don't want it up JP's ass.
So, yeah, Brianne, it can be a very sexually charged environment sometimes, and it's not always sexually charged in the way we want it. So we'll just leave it at that.
Would you? Oh, no, it's your read. My bad.
Would you consider your family to resemble the Brady Bunch or the Addams family? I would consider mine to be more like the Devil's Rejects. I'll just skip both of those. Yeah, and just go with
Mine's
that.
not either, man. Like, they're not quite weird enough to be the Addams family, but they're not like happy-go-lucky enough to be the Brady Bunch either.
I'll go with like the family from Shameless. I don't know if anybody here watches Shameless, but
Caitlin, my girlfriend, does.
Yeah, I don't have that many siblings, but yeah, I could definitely go with. Definitely got a Frank Gallagher in my life, so
yeah,
it's a good show, man. I like it a lot. I haven't watched in the past few seasons. It has gotten a little drawn out, but
yeah, no, I don't know. That's tough. Mine's not. I mean, if I had to pick one of the two, I'd probably say the Addams family because. My family's not really happy-go-lucky per se.
Yeah, man. I watched the movies. I never watched the TV show. I watched the Munsters, but never the Addams
the
family.
Munsters.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize until I was much older that the guy that was like, you shouldn't go down there at the Pet Cemetery was Herman Munster.
Oh, man.
Never knew that as a kid. And I grew up, and I'm like, oh, crap, that's Herman Munster. I'll go down there. Did I ask that, or did you ask that?
I asked it, I think.
Okay. What is the biggest turnoff your significant other does, and does she know about it? That's funny because my girlfriend doesn't listen to the podcast. Yours, however,
Yeah, mine does.
Does listen to the podcast.
Oh, man. I'm trying to think.
Mine is simple. Runs her mouth. My girlfriend she's got a smart ass mouth. Like, she's got something to say about everything. And she's not like an aggressive smart ass. I mean, she don't know you. She won't like interject herself into conversations to be an ass. But I mean, if you say something stupid to her, she will call you on it. And I'm slow. So I say a lot of stupid shit. And I mean, honestly, she's doing nothing wrong. But when she calls me on it nonstop, I'm like, okay, nope.
Yeah.
Complete turnoff.
Oh boy, for me it's nothing like sexual that I can think of.
Yeah, no, I didn't know.
Like, I mean, we're pretty all right in that. I mean, she might have more that I'm doing or not doing that would turn, but
he don't shave his balls enough.
Yeah, dude, she does get on me about that all the time. Like, not even kidding. Yeah, like
you got to trim the man bush, man. I mean, you expect her to be nice and tidy. You got to at least reciprocate.
Yeah, it's true. But man, it's just the razor. It always makes me nervous.
Don't use the razor. They actually have, and I mean, it sounds like a free plug, but they don't sponsor it. But hey, maybe we should see if they would sponsor the podcast. But they make manscaping. Man bush trimmers now that are supposed to be, if you use ones for your head, you have a chance of pinching your balls and, hurting your boys and your man meat. But with these, they're made for the pubic area. So I haven't gotten one yet. I plan to, but they say that it works really, really good. Yeah, man.
It's one of those things. I mean, there's hair on the testes for a reason to keep them from sticking and chafing. But at the same time, I also do like them getting licked and stuff like that. So it's
put some baby powder on them bad boys.
Yeah. Which a lot of times if it has the wrong ingredient, contributes to testicular cancer. Yeah. So,
I think it's your turn.
Okay. Are you the aggressor in the bedroom or the passive type?
Aggressor, 100%.
It's a give and a take for us. It's a give and a take.
Yeah, I think I'm nine times out of 10, I'm going to be the aggressor. I ain't going to say I've never met a girl that had like more experience or, was just more aggressive than I was that had me like, oh, damn. But I would say the majority of the time, especially while in a relationship.
Right. Well, I mean, for us, a lot of times it's scheduling, man. A lot of times she won't get home from work till like after 10, 11, sometimes after midnight. And, with our schedule, I'm like half comatose by then.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of times, I like that like afternoon delight. And she usually is down for that. But, yeah, a lot of it's just scheduling conflicts.
It's like, I need some dick. What are you doing Wednesday around 3:30?
Yeah, we really do need to just like work. have a calendar to work. I don't know.
All right. So after I take the cat to the vet on Thursday around 2:30, if you can take a lunch break, I think I can pencil you in.
Yeah.
For at least about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You just got to organize. Get your lives organized.
Yeah. It's neither one of us have the biggest strong suit as far as that stuff goes. But what are you going to
do? Heidi filled us in on Gracie, which was just kind of talking about she was in the first episode, tried to help Lydia to read. So that must have been where I saw that. My question is, so she does have a question. Do you have any holiday traditions? Didn't we?
We did, yeah. I said day drinking, and you said
day drinking.
Something else.
I mean, mine was drinking with my dad. That's one of my favorite traditions.
Right.
Is the fact that I got two really. JP's was day drinking. Mine is day drinking, but it's more in the evening. But my dad and I try a different bottle of whiskey pretty much every year.
Yeah.
Either that or just the tradition of getting up first. I love to be the first awake, and the house is quiet, and I'm fixing the coffee, and it's a little cold, and getting the breakfast started, and Yeah. I really I'm not saying I'm a good cook at all, but I don't know why. I love cooking for people. Like, I love to, wake up early and just fix enough breakfast. Like, if we go to the beach, I've said next year, I'm not even going to make people go in on it. I'm just going to buy as much breakfast food as I can afford, and I'm just going to get up every morning and fix breakfast and just leave it out for them.
Yeah, there you go.
But, yeah, I feel like we've asked that before. But then again, I don't know. It's no telling. Corey Andrews. Oh, yeah, I know what he's talking about. It wasn't a question. He said, or Justin, it was a ghost. Talking about where I said I heard somebody talking in the headphones.
Oh, yeah.
Corey,
white noise.
Most likely you're right.
Oh,
then we talk about that. I never appreciate it. All right, now pick the one this week that irritated me. Go ahead and read it.
This next one from Scrate 85.
Yeah, I just call it Scrate 85.
That's the next question, I guess. Justin, what Hollywood actor would you pick to play JP in a movie of his life? JP, who would you pick to play Justin? My pick's JP, Brad Pitt, Justin, Willem Dafoe, or Steve Buscemi.
And to that I say, that's...
I kind of feel like I would say Brad Pitt for you, and you would say Willem Dafoe or Steve Buscemi for me.
I was like...
Is what I'm kind of thinking.
And I love you, Scar85, so I'm just talking some shit, or however you say your name. But I was like, screw this, man. Really? Steve Buscemi? I don't mind the Willem Dafoe. But Steve Buscemi, I look nothing like that guy. But, as far as personality types, yes, I could see. I don't for a second think I look like Brad Pitt either. But, it's like in our profile picture. I've got that, kind of hairstyle that Brad Pitt has all the time, like the shaved sides and pulled back. And JP's just kind of got that. But, so what? You think that was mixed up?
I feel like that's what he's saying, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe he thinks I'm a Brad Pitt type. I don't.
Maybe.
I don't see that either. But
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, like I said, I could see the Willem Dafoe for JP just because JP's so and I mean this with as much love behind it as I can. So much so out there.
Right.
Willem Dafoe or Steve Buscemi, personality wise, would fit JP because if you know me. I'm not quite as out there as those two. While JP is, I'm much more grounded and laid back, kind of like Brad Pitt is. So I don't know, man. But if so, I don't like Steve Buscemi. I mean, I like Steve Buscemi as a person.
But you wouldn't want to be.
I wouldn't want him to play me. So we still got to answer the question. So who would you pick to play me in a movie about my life?
A young Robert Redford, and for me, I would go.
Thank you.
I would go with. I don't know if I'm even supposed to choose for myself.
You're not, but now
Okay.
that you started, go ahead. I'm sure the listeners would love to hear.
If I could get my my hair back, I'd go with like Edward Norton. When I was younger, I was someone said that, and she was a condo salesman, so it might have been just trying to butter me up. But it was very random.
I'm really not copying you, man. I think I told you that earlier this week when I pointed out that question. That for you, I could see a younger Edward Norton because you told me someone had told you that before.
Yeah, if I could either grow my hair back or Edward Norton go bald, we could maybe work
American
that out.
History X.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Of course, his head was bald because he was a skinhead, but whatever.
Right.
For JP, I would pick Edward Norton. I think Edward Norton could play a great JP. I think he can be quirky, kind of like JP is. I think I said that before the pod, like earlier this week. I was like, talking about that question. I was like, he picked Steve Buscemi for me.
Yeah.
What the fuck? But I was like, and we were talking about it. I was like, JP, I could really see Edward Norton playing you. So Edward Norton for him. And if I had to pick me, I really don't know who I still don't know who I would pick for me. Are there any modern actors you can think of, JP? Help me out.
Man,
here.
that's just what popped into mind. Maybe I don't know, man. I don't know why that came to mind either. It just kind of did.
I'd take a young Robert Redford. But,
yeah, Robert Redford. He's a good actor.
But I don't know. Like I said, my pick is Edward Norton for JP. I don't know. Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, I'm going more off personality, but
yeah, I could see that.
I think Jake Gyllenhaal could play me. And moving forward, again from Scar asking the interesting questions. And how did you say this name? You said it better.
I said Scrate 85.
Scrate. There we go. Scrate 85.
Scrate 5. I don't know.
Scrate 85.
But we love you.
Scrate 5. JP, how many dudes have railed you? Justin. What about you? And then I love this. I love that they put in parentheses so you don't feel left out.
Of course not.
Thank you for considering my feelings. You should have thought about that before you threw Steve Buscemi beside me. But none.
Well, I'm not one to get railed and tell, but I had a very pleasurable weekend with a wonderful Filipino fellow, and we'll just leave it at that.
That's an exclusive because first time I've heard about it.
Yeah, well,
more power to you, man. Hey,
like I said, I'm not one to rail and tail.
I'm not one to kink shame. You know what? Whatever gets you there, man, you do your thing.
And that stereotype about Asians is not always true.
Is that why you were having so much trouble on leg day? Squats really seem to be putting you in a bind.
You got to be careful when
especially the leg lunges, man. You were really struggling. With those. Everything makes sense now.
Yeah.
So 0 for me. At least we know 1 for JP.
I said I'm not going to go down the line to. You want me to tell you how many stars are in the sky? I can't do that either.
All right. I asked that, so now it is your turn.
Okay, what are your favorite comedies, Dumb and Dumber and Wedding Crashers for me? For me, I'm going to go with As Good as It Gets. It's not like a comedy, but that's what I'm going to go with. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I like that. Dumb and Dumber was always one of my favorites, but
that's a good one.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil is one of my favorite comedy movies, just because I love the way it's written. Like, it's not too on the nose, but it kind of is. But it's a great, very well done. Like, when you think of, I think in the modern times, when you think it's a spoof of a horror movie, you think of like Scary Movie. Yeah. But it wasn't done nearly as stupid. Like, it's a well written movie, but it's so yeah. I mean, I love Tucker and Dale versus Evil. What are some comedy movies that I just always go back to? I have so many, it's really hard to narrow it down to one.
Yeah.
I almost feel like we should read these questions a week ahead and like think on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Off the top of my head, I'm like, I don't know. There's so many good comedies out there.
There's a lot of good stuff.
I mean, when I was young, I loved American Pie. As cheesy as that is now, back then.
Yep.
She cracked me up. But yeah, I'll you know what? I know what I'll go with. Me, Myself, and Irene.
All right.
And Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
There you go.
Me, Myself, and Irene. I watched that over and over and over and over.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. And now I think it's you, right? Or did I read that? Yeah, I read how many people railed you. You read that, so now I read Jeeps. Jeep. I would want Samuel L. Jackson to narrate my life. Hell yeah. I feel like, got no man, Justin, and don't really want one either unless Tony Stewart or Norman Reedus came walking through my door. Like, yeah. I've interviewed Tony Stewart before. Never Norman Reedus, but Tony Stewart's a cool guy. No, seriously, I had one once, but that didn't work out well, and I'm way too much of a lone wolf that likes to do her own thing anyways. Sometimes there are people you can get in relationships so that don't really try to tame you. Like, you just do your thing, But I understand you completely. I've had spells where I did not, of course you want who don't want to get some butt, but didn't want a relationship. Just the thought of it was not appealing. Mail call: if your daughter is a little tomboy type like me, would you encourage it, or do you want her to be a frou-frou type chick that walks around in high heels and dresses all the time? I mean, if she's a tomboy, I'm not going to push her to be anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to take her camping, I'm going to take her hiking, and all of the things that I like to do. And if she becomes a tomboy because she naturally enjoys those, then fantastic. But I mean, if she's a tomboy, I'd be thrilled because being quite honest, I would love for her to be kind of tomboyish.
Yeah.
But no, I'd like that. But again, I don't want to force her to do anything. I would like her to develop on her own and just be who she is. If that's frou-frou, well, I guess I won't have her going hiking with me. But whatever, at least she's happy if she's being who she wants to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, if she's a tomboy, I definitely wouldn't try to suppress that. I'd be like, yes, let's go skin her deer. All right. Oh, our pal we talked to yesterday.
Oh, yeah, Zekai, and I'm sure I'm probably still not saying that right.
What? No, I see Dan Ashdown.
Dan Ashdown, yeah. I skipped ahead. I can't totally picture JP being English. Quick side note, not being too picky, but Britain ain't a country. It's our collective name of 4 countries, including England. But that's just me being overly picky.
No problem. Yeah, you educated us.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that.
If you had to enter a drinking contest against 3 other countries, which ones would you pick, and where do you think you'd place? Not just picking ones it would be easy to beat, but ones that would be a challenge and fun competition. Keep up the good work. We'll try to.
Thank you, Dan. We talked to Dan, by the way. If you haven't heard yesterday's Paranormal Experiences podcast, check it out. Dan phoned in from the UK, and it was a great time. We liked it so much, we're going to do a part 2.
Yeah, check it out.
But which 3 countries are you drinking against?
I think Germany would be tough. I think the UK in general would be tough, and I think Russia would be tough.
Okay, well, I don't need to answer because those are pretty much my 3. Yeah. I knew the UK was going to be one. I didn't think Russia, but you're right. Russia doesn't play with that either. I mean, they drink vodka pretty much as water.
Yeah.
But yeah, Germany, because Germany has so many good brews. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's pretty much where I was going. So we were on the same page there.
Yeah.
All right, now we're back to Zakai. Is that how you said it?
Probably not.
He sent us a thing.
I know he did. I can't remember, dude.
And it's
our good buddy Z.
Our good buddy Z. Justin, what U.S. state would JP be? JPB. What state would JP be? Colorado.
Yeah, I'd love to live there.
JP would be Colorado if he was a state.
Yeah.
JP, he said the same applies to you. He called you a beautiful man. You sure do get called beautiful by other men quite a bit.
I
mean, you are coming from a man. You're a beautiful man, but
for you, man, I would go with North Carolina because it's got the mountains and the beaches. Your 2 favorite things. You love to hike and you love the beach.
Okay. At first, I was going to say, really, I give you Colorado and I get the boring ass state of North. But you're right. Yeah, they do have beaches and they have mountains, and it really does fit. So I rescinded my what the hell.
I'm sure there's probably more states like that too. But
and they're still hunting and stuff down there.
You kind of got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, you're right. Well, Virginia though has beaches and mountains too, though, right? I guess does North Carolina have more? You think?
I don't really know.
Virginia and North Carolina works because like I say, we have the beach in Virginia, and we also do have mountains. I'm going to hike one this weekend.
I like the Carolina beaches better, though. I'm not going to lie. I've never been up and down the Virginia coast, but I do like the Carolina beaches.
Up towards
better. Norfolk
and stuff, it's pretty nice. Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you. I do like the I like South Carolina's beaches too. But let's see. So the next one. Also by our boy Z. I don't know. We really don't do politics. Who are your favorite U.S. presidents,
Well, you know,
Justin and JP?
to stay out of current events and politics, like you said, I will go with Andrew Jackson.
You just like the fact that his parrot cursed so much, didn't you?
I mean, he had a very interesting life, man. He dueled. He was the hero of the Battle of New Orleans, all this kind of stuff.
A rabid racist.
So, yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that.
I mean, I know obviously it's not why you like him. And I mean, I'm the same as you. He's fascinating.
So, I mean, I know the March of Tears happened under his watch, but, I mean, that was a difficult thing, man. You were either going to have a turf war between the whites and the Indians, relocate. I mean, that's a tough spot to be in. But he did stop. Probably the Civil War would have happened like decades sooner had he not intervened. And I might be a little off on my details, but now Andrew Jackson, man, he's an interesting guy, and I really like him.
Well, yeah, and cool fact. At least I've read that this is supposed to be true. Of course, I wasn't there, but I've heard his parrot was ejected from his funeral because the parrot would not stop saying curse words.
Sounds about right.
I'm going to go with Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah, he was an outdoorsman.
Just such an interesting guy, man. Like, I mean, he's the kind of guy. I mean, like, he just kind of was like a man's man.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure there are other answers. Like, Thomas Jefferson had like this very suave kind of like intellectual,
yeah, man, he was a genius, and he loved chocolate women.
Yeah, that part not so cool in the sense of I think he raped, right?
I don't know.
Was it rape? And I say that. I mean, of course, it's cool to love whatever you want, but I mean, if okay, let me think. If there was rape, then that part's not so cool.
Yeah,
but he was intellectual. He was suave. He had some pretty, open-minded thoughts about certain things, and I think he was a smart guy. But ultimately, Theodore Roosevelt's the one that I would like to hang out with.
And man, he encountered the Sasquatch, if I'm not mistaken.
Roosevelt?
Yeah, I know he was an avid outdoorsman.
Because he was in the woods more than he was in the White House.
Right. Like a lot of presidents now, they're on the golf course. Teddy Roosevelt was out there in the woods,
out there beating Sasquatch's ass with his bare hands.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, really good question. Good way to say, because I definitely was like, I'm not getting into modern politics.
Yeah.
Because sadly, Z, even though I'm sure you could, there's so many people that if we said, like if you were to get modern and go, I love Trump or I hate Trump, it don't matter which side you go on, people would completely abandon the podcast.
Right. So yeah.
You don't think the same way I do. How dare you? I'm out.
Yeah. So we'll steer clear of that and move up to Kim Younger.
Hey.
If you could cross over any TV character to The Walking Dead, who would it be and why? Have a great weekend.
Jax Teller from Sons of Anarchy.
All right. I would go with Polly Walnuts from The Sopranos. Yeah.
Interesting. Who would you rather? Maggie or Rosita? Definitely Maggie for me. I skipped the other question, but I'll go back and address that in a minute. I don't know. That's tough. I mean, Rosita's hot. She's a spicy little dish. I love the attitude. I'm sure she'd be. I feel like Maggie would just be kind of one of the. She's hot, and I could be wrong. But talking about Maggie, not Lauren Cohen, I could see Maggie just kind of being like the straight up like love making, just kind of. Whereas Rosita, man, she's got an attitude. You know what I mean? It could be fun. I don't know. Maggie's been kind of a TV crush of mine for a while, but I think. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with Rosita.
I'm going with Maggie just because I don't want Father Gabriel's sloppy seconds.
You know what? I've rescinded my vote and go back to Maggie. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, Gabriel and Sadiq just annoys me. It's not that I think he's gross, but I just, I'm like, man, he whines too much.
Yeah.
He might have gave her some of his whininess through her, lady hole.
Yeah.
But no, our boy Z also asked Negan versus the governor, who would win. We actually have a video about that.
I was going to say, way back in the day, we did a Walking Dead What If. And
we used to do that. I missed that. Walking Dead What If.
Yeah, I think we pretty much landed on Negan.
Yeah, he's got the numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like hand-to-hand, the governor might because Negan can throw down, but the governor's a big, stout guy, and, I mean, we've seen he can throw down. So. Yeah. But that's a whole discussion. We have a whole video for, so definitely go check that out under the playlist on our channel on YouTube called Walking Dead What Ifs. If you're listening on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, you'll have to actually find us on YouTube for that one. Yeah. But we do have it.
Yeah, there you go.
Now to you.
All right. Fun fact for my country. Also, well, that's not really a question. But yeah, head of state is Queen Elizabeth. That's cool.
Interesting.
Are brothels legal in any states in your country? In the state where I reside in Australia, Victoria, brothels are legal. Pretty sure Nevada.
I was gonna say Nevada, like near like Las Vegas and all of that. There's brothels,
And that's the only one I know of. But yeah, Nevada, because they had a TV show about it, like The Cat House or something. It was on HBO.
There used to be one here in our town. What was it called?
Not illegal, of course.
No,
but yeah,
of course not. Yeah,
yeah, the Yellow Hen or something.
Yeah.
The building's still there as far as I know.
I ride by it every day, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you dirty, dirty building.
Yep.
That the wood's probably going to stand forever. There's probably so much like sexual fluid soaked into the walls that it's just going to withstand the test of time. It won't decay.
Yeah.
Has a beautiful finish on it. Like, I mean, nicer than most decks. But yeah. Let's see. Do you? Wait a minute. All right, wait a minute. I got so confused on
this question can be taken a couple of different ways.
Do you guys like to get freaky in bed? Not
As if together?
No.
Yeah.
Not,
it's very like meat and potatoes when we're in bed together. Just, wham, bam, nothing weird, nothing out of the way. Just, wieners and buttholes.
JP just wants to hit it and go to sleep. I mean, he doesn't care about my feelings. He doesn't want to talk about the things that we just went through together. So,
just oral, anal, and we're done.
It's not emotionally satisfying enough for me.
Sorry.
Just playing. JP poops a little bit too much for me.
Well,
I'm just
better out than in.
It's just not really, guys, just aren't my forte. Again, to those who are into them, more power to you. I don't, whatever your deal is. But I could never go there with JP because, well,
I'm too hairy. Just say it. I'm too hairy.
No,
you like your men shaved down and smooth.
No,
and
it's
silky.
the fact that you have a dick. I think for me, that's the big holdup. You have a dick.
Well, I do, but
But no, just kidding. We've never even had to sleep in the same bed. So I love it when women hold me down and pretend to be raped. Oh, whoa. I also like to be choked. Man, we are, look what you started.
so like the women hold him down and pretend to be raped.
Yeah.
So
he likes to be submissive.
So he's saying he likes to pretend that he's being raped.
Yes, that's what I'm gathering.
Okay.
No, I've never had a woman hold me down and pretend to rape me. I mean, I've had some, I don't want to talk about my current girlfriend, but I mean, I've had, girls that were really into some like rough, crazy stuff, but I've never liked to pretend I was being raped.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But
No, I think
JP,
it's pretty,
Julius is standing in the room. Julius, what did you say?
I think that's weird in my opinion. But
a lot of girls are into
Some
rape
girls,
play.
yeah.
They're very dominant, I know. But
Like
I'm talking about the guy pretending he's being raped thing. I guess I don't know. Maybe that's I don't know.
What, you're considering it? Are you thinking like you're going to go home and try it?
Well, no.
He looked, didn't he? He
Yeah,
looked like
he's
he
pondering,
was thinking. He
man.
had one eye closed and had the other eye looking up like,
Yeah.
I could. I mean, some people are into that, man. I don't kink shame. As long as you're doing that in a bedroom with consent
Right.
and you're not out doing it to strangers, I mean, what's in the bedroom's in the bedroom. Sometimes you got to spice it up to
That is
keep,
true.
to keep things. If you're having the same, sex with the same person for so long, I mean, you got to do something. You just can't have basic white person sex for the rest of eternity.
Exactly.
You got to get it kinky.
You
So,
got to spice it up a little bit. Do some butthole stuff.
Well, I'm not really. Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Gotta do what you got.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And that's how you keep yourself, into the same person, I think, is, unless you're one of those people that, some people do just find someone they're hopelessly devoted to, and it doesn't matter whether they just make sweet, sweet love, soft and slow, or wild, kinky, who's your daddy sex, But, I think most people, but I think the way we're designed by nature is to want to go out and impregnate everything that we can get into.
Right.
I think that's just the primate mentality. Like, we go out and we find a herd of women and we're like, we beat our chest and we get them all pregnant. We're like, I am the leader of this group of women. Fuck you, stay away. And then, so I think in order to keep us monogamous, you gotta spice it up.
Yeah.
Julius here, I think, is a super freak.
I might be.
I mean, I think Julius and his wife, they probably got it going on.
I hope so.
Despite the number of invitations I've got, I've yet to go there and see for myself.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'd love to watch sometime, but
Well, they say that they don't have.
Well, I invited Justin.
They say that right. See, I got the end, but they don't have any benches there, sir. So I mean, you don't get to just sit and watch. You got to jump in.
You got it.
It's like Fight Club. If this is your first time in my house, you gotta fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, and the last one from Mail Call. I think we might have one or two other ones, but the last one on the Mail Call from last week. And JP, you're asking the question?
Yeah, Jonas Baleli. I've heard Justin say he has watched Lost. JP, would you consider watching it, since it is basically a huge conspiracy-esque filled with mythology show? I actually did watch most of the second season, just at a friend's dorm, binging. I liked what I saw, but I can't say that. It's not that I wouldn't want to, but I just don't see myself wading through that. I mean, that's a lot to watch, and I probably won't. Not for lack of wanting to, but I don't think I will. And he also says, my wife and I want to start a wedding podcast. Any suggestions on how to start, equipment, strategies, get it off the ground?
Well, right now, our equipment's having a lot of issues. Our board's very overdriven, and from what I'm hearing from listeners who listen to our podcast and headphones, they say that JP's audio kind of jumps around, which I think I might have tweaked that a little bit to make it better. So hopefully I did. One problem we're having is our left and right channels are recording at significantly different volumes. So what I'm doing is cutting out the left channel and then duplicating the right channel to the left channel. And hopefully it's making JP sound a little better. I know that sounds complicated as shit if you don't actually work in radio. And what's bad is for someone like me, that's super simple stuff. Like Julius does the really hard stuff. But the main thing is, if you're going to edit on your laptop, I'm going to tell you up front, there's a lot of PCs out there that can do it, but you get yourself a MacBook if you don't have one already. Like, there are good PCs out there, but I mean, MacBook Pros at least are just built. That's what I got. It just comes ready to perform and ready to be able to take the stress of recording and editing and things like that. So first things first, get a MacBook Pro. Second thing, get you good USB, which I'll tell you the honest truth, Jonas. If you go to Amazon, just look up podcasting starter kits, and there are lots. And just read the reviews. There are lots of really good little startup kits that'll sound great. They're simple to use, and as you grow and your podcast expands, then you can start doing little things like, we'll get a nicer board, and then now we're going to get nicer mics. But I mean, go to Amazon, be willing to drop a couple $100, and you'll be good.
There you go.
Beautiful.
But yeah, lots of good questions this round.
Yeah, we got Z sent us some on Facebook, but he showed us his cats. What's the most disgusting thing you guys have done? Joked about having sex with JP would probably be my top.
Yeah,
and you witnessed that happen. So
yeah, so there you go. That's
What's yours, JP? Joking about sex? What sex?
Ugh.
I smell delightful, so don't say that joking about having sex with me is the grossest thing you've ever done.
I've got a doo-doo on me before in the midst of activity, so that would probably be it. Yeah.
I mean, I know when you're doing butt play, it guy happen, or gal, that's going to happen. I mean, it's
right.
It's enough of it. It's probable,
Yeah, it can happen.
Oh God, the thought of that is so gross. Also, he sent pictures of his cats to you.
Oh, he's got beautiful cats. Yeah. We traded some kitty pics.
Did you send him pictures of your cats?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, love you, Z and Brienne and everybody in between.
Yeah, he says he pissed in his neighbor's yard from his apartment balcony. Not once, not twice, but 4 times. I'm sure I've peed in somebody's yard. That wasn't mine. I got drunk one time coming home from the bar and went to a house that I thought was mine.
Right.
And knocked on the door, like cussing my roommates out for not opening the door, only to wake up some poor sweet old man and have to be like, sorry, I don't. Bye. Call the cops. I've been assaulted. Let's see. We had one more on the paranormal podcast from yesterday that I saw, and I hate to not answer that. So we got Dalton Pinheiro says, do you guys think Rick will survive at the end of the movies, or do you think he's going to die? I thought Scott Gimple pretty much confirmed he's going to survive all 3 movies.
Yeah, I think he will. I think he'll end up back on the main show.
Which that's Scott Gimple. I feel like they're going to keep him alive just in case he ever wants to go back to the show.
Right, yeah.
I don't think he plans to. They say he won't, but I think they're going to keep him alive on those because he's a cash cow.
Right.
Him coming back would bring long-time people that have abandoned the show back to the show.
Yeah, so he'll be back.
So, yeah, I think that he will survive. Yeah. And one more video to check, and then I think we're done. We've got our conspiracy cast where JP talked about Chinese super soldiers coming for that sweet ass.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
That's ironic because of the Filipino experience this weekend.
Well, and it's funny because the first thing there is a sudden case of red pilling says a lot of meat is grown in a lab. Tyson does it. And I actually just watched, there's that show on Netflix called Explained, and they put a new episode every week, and they're only like 18 minutes long. This week they were talking about meats. More specifically, they were talking about growing meat in labs. So, and then a guy asked who mixed our podcast, and I've done something different since then. But the guy said every time JP talks, the sound goes back and forth. You notice it more listening with headphones. So, Julius, do you think that could be the right and left channel issue? Like basically one's lower than the other? And so now that I'm copying the right channel and putting it on the left and making them both the same, hopefully that'll fix it.
There you go.
And if Julius ever gets a chance to fix our board and figure out why it's being so overdriven, there's that too.
Gotcha.
I think we're closing in on the end here. Just want to make sure we don't forget anybody with all the genetic stuff. All right, so let's see. And I thought I missed mail call. Good schnit. Oops, sorry, Corey. So this is Corey Andros says, oh, wow, do you want to...
So it may not be, so that's why I'm not, like, citing...
I thought that was you. That's me. So Corey Andros has a lot to save time and you not having to find them since your phone's down. Do you just want me to go ahead and rapid fire his questions?
Yeah.
All right. I think it's safe to say that we'll be seeing Michonne in the back half of the season, right? Can't wait to... No, wait. I think it's safe to say we'll be seeing Michonne in the back half of this season. Yeah, it's talking about, I guess, if they were going to kill her before or whatever. Yeah, it definitely seems that way. Can't wait to catch up with her, little ass kicker, and Jer Bear. Yeah, true that. What do you guys think of Watchmen so far? You still going to podcast about it? I would like to. I've only seen the first episode. I really enjoyed it. JP's a little more current than I am.
Yeah, I'm caught up. I'm loving it.
But I'm digging it.
So maybe we'll do like a mid-season wrap, mid-season thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Once you catch up.
Yeah, for sure. Cool thing. JP has promised. I told him he had to promise me, and he did. And I do trust him when he says he promises that he's coming to my place for the mid-season premiere, and maybe we'll do like a little live podcast afterwards. Yeah. And we've said that before and not done it. I think this time in my heart, I feel like JP's going to be there.
It's going to stick. Don't worry.
So, we're going to make that happen. Justin, as a football fan, you also disappointed it's looking like another Patriots Super Bowl season. Like, can we get a new SB? It's funny. I'm not a football fan. I used to be, Corey. I used to be a Steelers fan. That used to be my team. And then I kind of lost faith in them. It just kind of faded out. But I'm a baseball and college basketball fan. So I'm really into, like, the Red Sox are my team in baseball, and I love Duke men's basketball. But with that said, my best friend's a Patriots fan. So by proxy, I just automatically hate them. So, screw the Patriots, even though I'm a Red Sox fan, and that's kind of same area, but whatever. Are you going to do that 9/11 podcast? Take your time, do the research, and make it happen. Be a fascinating topic, and we'd love to hear what you guys think about some of the sketchy stuff that went down.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yes, but again, we really want to take time to research that, because that is a rabbit hole that has rabbit holes within rabbit holes.
It's a deep
rabbit holes. So deep it loops back around the earth and ends up back at itself. Do you guys really think Hugh Jackman is done with the Logan character for good? I think he will play him again someday.
You never know. I think if they give him enough cash and it's a good project, I could see it.
But I loved him in Logan. I thought he did a good job as Wolverine in a series of not that good of movies. But Logan itself was freaking awesome. What are you most excited about for these next 2 Walking Dead episodes? Thanks, my dudes. Thank you, Corey. We really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to see where the Negan and Whisperer relationship is going to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm most invested in. Just the Negan stuff.
Also, I think that's probably what I'm absolutely most excited about. Where's the Negan and Whisperer thing going? I've said it again. I'll say it again and again and again. I think The Walking Dead is finally really interesting again. We've got plot points that I'm excited to see where they go, and questions, and I love it. All right, let's see. I think we're getting to... we are at the end. I see... oh, wait. Hey. Thank you, Z. You know what he says on this one?
What's that?
Justin, you sexy man. Do you know how cringe it was last Friday when you said shrimp on the bobby? Now I'm a sexy man, so thank you, Z. You rock. Thank you for sharing and spreading the love. My Australian's horrible. If I ever try to do a British accent, it's somehow like morphs into a wacky Australian accent, which then just morphs... into like a dumb redneck accent,
Right.
which is my normal accent. So, and then he talks about cats, which you saw that y'all messaged on Facebook about that. And what's cool is when you message to Facebook, you never know who you're going to get because JP and I both have access to it on our phone. So some days JP might be the one responding, some days it might be me. He says he's half Turkish on account of his father's side, and the Turks came from Mongolians. Oh, okay, we're cousins. Hey, we were just talking about them. Another fun fact, Genghis Khan's children converted to Islam. Oh, interesting. But yeah, that was all on, because we were kind of discussing stuff like that on the Chinese super soldiers. But Z, Brienne, Corey, everyone else who left, of course, Cheap Jeep, and all of you who leave all of these awesome questions, thank you so much for giving us something to talk about. And hopefully you're okay with the mail call being moved to Friday. It just kind of is easier for us, and we feel like it gives people a little bit more time to get their question in. But yeah, aside from that, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. We'll see you here on Monday for The Walking Dead, and I think we're going to have a winner announcement at some point between now and Monday for our Patreon prize pack.
Yeah, we'll be working on that later this afternoon or something.
It's tough. We got a lot of work stuff going on, so just bear with us. If we say we're going to do something on Friday and it ends up getting pushed back a day or two, I know that we would like to keep it at our word, but you know, the jobs that pay the bills sadly have to come first.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we definitely will never not do something. So just bear with us. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for the love and the support. And thank you for putting the image of JP and I sharing a bed together in my head. It just won't wash out now.
Yep.
Oh my God, JP, come here. No, but we'll see you on Monday for Walking Dead Conversation. I'm Justin.
Monday it is. I'm JP.
And we're the Podcasting Dead.